Oh, your poor mono black deck didn't stand up against my scrub ass blue green.
We good?
Last time on D&D and Alamar, the party ventured out from the city, barely steps ahead of the ranger squadron that had entered behind them. Figuring they'd meet up with the caravan on its way north, they scouted out the terrain until they were ambushed by a pack of double-headed devil dog, death dogs, whatever, I don't remember what they're called, because Dave confused me. After a serious fight, wounds given and taken, the party ventured victorious. Scouting out, they saw the caravan leaving the city, waiting until it could meet up with them. They joyously joined up with the dwarves moving north. The caravan itself was quite interesting, being led by dire lions instead of horses. The one mounted figure drew the interest of the party. Borrico, fine stem of the Golden Blade, an elven man riding a horse. Discovering the remains of a lost Ouijas worshipper, the party returned to the group and attempted to bring the amulet to the elf. They were greeted with disdain, anger, and open hostility. The party backed off and camped for the night. Little did they know Dador was going to make a second attempt. Find out now! Tonight! If that's successful.
Alright, so I also believe that Dave is diseased because my poison cure didn't work.
He's poisoned status.
Right, but my poison cure didn't work and it got worse for him.
I'm not saying anything besides that he has a poison status.
And then we're going to rest for the night, right?
You were going to, but Dador wanted to take another shot. And speaking with Borrico.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and we literally called it there. Alright, so yeah, resting. I'm gonna stay near the camp and go forage for stuff.
I'm gonna cast Leomun's tiny hut. Actually, I'm gonna call. How many people are there total?
In the caravan?
Yeah.
Like 60?
60? Okay. I'm going to go to the leader and say, I can cast a spell to make you more comfortable if you sleep within a certain range of me.
You saying this to Radomir?
Yeah.
Can you fit the lions?
No, they're large. I can't.
Then I appreciate it, but I must say no. You must stay near the lions. That's what keeps them tame, is the bond of the pride.
Well, if there are any injured or sick or elderly that you wish to, I can house an extra. What are we, 4? An extra
He gives
5.
you a very strange look. Befuddled at your statement. Sick and elderly? This is an expedition caravan to the north. Why would we send sick and elderly?
If you're sadistic, that's a good point.
You're a weird one, bearded one.
Just trying to help.
A whole lot of you ice slayers are weird.
I'm gonna call my party members close to me and then cast Leoman's tiny hut.
Okay.
I don't answer.
Neither does Pavu.
I'm gonna wait until everyone's around. So I'll wait until everyone gathers back, I guess.
Laura just got home and she's looking at me expectantly, so I need to go talk to her, I guess. Sorry.
But he's literally the reason we didn't just camp, sleep, and wake up.
He said sorry.
But he's driving it right now. It's now a driverless car, and it's not meant to be.
Side note, Kirkland tequila is excellent.
You're drinking tequila straight now.
It's got some ice and some...
So we've got you till about 7:30 is what you're telling
Better
me.
than what Tony does.
No. We're talking about Dave drinking tequila straight.
No. I understand that Dave is drinking tequila straight and it's troublesome, but Tony drinks tequila with milk.
With
Yes.
With what? No,
Milk.
it cut out. Oh, milk?
that's gross.
Like, he mentioned that to me one day, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna vomit. He's like, I didn't have anything else. Then just drink it straight? Just don't
Yeah,
add
it's not
it
a
with
mixer.
anything?
Milk is not a mixer for alcohol.
This is just ice and lime.
Yes, yeah, Dave. I'm not worried about what you're drinking, but the fact that you're drinking liquor and 2 or 3 beers in, we lose you about an hour. Liquor, I'm assuming you're done in about 40 minutes, and I might be generous on that.
It's delicious.
Yes, we've lost Dave.
That's not
So
true.
short session tonight, huh?
Dave's going hard in the me.
Oh boy.
Alright, well. I'm
Babu, well, we're waiting for the door to come back. Your friend Eric's disappeared into the night. It's just you and Raj right now. Yeah, now you're drinking that. Dave's drinking tequila. This is going to be a short night.
Okay, in fairness, Ryan drinking that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, no. Ryan drinking that, he can generally hold it for a while. I get it. But,
Peanut butter whiskey.
ugh.
It's
No.
not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah?
It's real good.
Yeah, Scott Noyes brought a bottle to Ryan's Halloween party. It's surprisingly tasty.
I don't know. That sounds... Oh, maybe I'm very well booked to be wrong. Probably am.
Screwball is what it's called.
Alright.
It's got a sheep's head on the front of it. And it's good.
Fair enough.
I mean, the nature of it dictates drink it straight. But
Yeah, you have to. Couple ice cubes.
although,
Look at that pretty color.
I wonder how that'd be with, like, some cocoa.
Someone told me to chase it with grape juice.
Fuck you. Ah. Alright. I can see it. I don't like it, but I can see it.
Peanut butter gelatin. Peanut butter gelatin.
Yeah, I guess you could call it a peanut butter shot then. PBJ shot.
See, Dave drinking tequila. That's terrifying.
Well, I already said we're going to lose Dave about 7:30 now.
Yeah.
He needs it so that it takes the sting away from later.
What kind of tequila?
Costco.
Ryan's face just dropped.
My favorite part of all of that. My favorite part of that is just Dave's 3-second pause where he just has that shit-eating grin.
It's delicious.
What kind of tequila? It just
Costco.
yep, Maui.
All right. Well, Eric's is off pilfering about. Pavu,
Don't say pilfer. I'm not pilfer. I'm not pilfering. I'm not stealing shit.
Pavu and Barrage. Sure you aren't. Pavu and Barrage are sitting around the small campfire enjoying their evening libations at the door.
What's this dude's name again?
Borrego Finestem of the Golden Blade.
All right, I'm gonna go sit at Prosecco's fire.
As you approach the small fire, you note that he is the only one sitting there.
I will sit by a fire silently.
Your presence is not welcome.
What is your air of superiority?
I am not imposing whatever air upon you, though you are certainly fouling mine.
One wonders where this attitude comes from.
One can go wander off into the dark.
I'm going to get up and dust off my pants.
Thanks. Just what I needed for my evening night. Grow dust from a dirt elf.
You see the picture of my friends?
What are you doing, honey?
Penny and Uncle Adam and Uncle Canada.
That's you.
That's me. That's you. That's Lawrence. That's Dave. It's Uncle Canada. And Uncle Adam went to go get Penny. Going to bed, like what you need to do.
Even.
Anything else to
She's
do?
been up for hours. Alright. I'm going to let you say hi and bye, because I don't know what Penny's doing. Okay?
I didn't want to say something inappropriate with the kid coming on.
I didn't know if she was coming on or not at that point. That's why I
Wanted to be sure.
still don't know, actually.
Not funny.
How's that magic game going, Dave?
Flash.
No. Word scrap.
Hi.
Hi!
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
What's talking him? Him.
I am.
Hi.
Hi! Did you have fun at school today?
I didn't go that good.
No, you don't go to school.
No, I didn't go to school.
Oh. What'd you do today?
I went to grandma's.
Ooh, grandma's! That must have been fun.
And then I thought I'd come in here today and you missed me. And
Yeah.
Hi, Riley.
no, it's not funny.
Hey, Penny.
Where is he?
Penny.
She's so bad again?
Riley, what's your favorite animal?
So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
No,
dog juice? Uh-huh. It is or not? Oh. So hi. Bye.
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 I love
You too, sweetheart. Night night.
you. So low. Oh, hi, Bunny. Hi. I see. No, I want to see her dress.
You always talk about what you have. Why don't you ask
Huh?
Barbie how her day goes?
I want to see it. I want to see a dress. It's a Minnie Mouse one. Can I look at her dress? Hold on.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Night, baby girl. I love you too.
Nah. She's back!
Go see Mama.
The door. Now that you've lost track of where you were.
Yeah. What did he say? Dust from
Dust
mud
from a
people.
dirt elf. Just what he needed.
Best be careful. I'm quite comfortable in the dark anyway. I'm gonna give him a creepy little smile. Just back away.
At least the other races have an excuse. Pleasant dreams, dirt eater.
What a cunt.
Oh. Good evening, High Lord. Whining grin, and I'm gonna go to the hut and begin plotting.
After about an hour of waiting, Braj, Eric's finally wanders back.
Andador or no?
Oh yeah, the door came back before then.
Okay. If everyone's ready to go to bed, I'll cast my hut.
What hut?
I'm already sleeping.
Comfortable.
You cast comfort?
I'll just watch, and I'll cast Leoman's tiny hut.
As a dome forms around you, causing peacefulness and restfulness. You feel safe and secure.
Other creatures can't see within, but you can see out.
This neat. Why not do before?
It took me a while to learn it, and then I needed spell components.
This would have saved you a lot of trouble in the tundra.
Yep. So's my luck. Learned it after We vanquished the tundra.
We can bring it back if you want.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I think we're trying to actively avoid that.
I don't think it matters what we do. We're fucking up this whole world of Lawrence's.
I'm going to attune to my gauntlet before I go to bed.
Oh, I thought you were already asleep. Yeah, I got you.
And Canada, you said you were gonna try to do something tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna prepare lesser restoration to see if that'll work. I'm also gonna mention that you cheated death and are actually quite lucky.
What do you mean?
Not everyone can claim it. They've come back from the dead. I would consider that quite lucky.
Is it luck if he have no say in it? All you're doing.
Destiny. More
In that
Sylvanas
case-
is doing.
In that case, count me the luckiest son of a bitch you've ever met. And a sharp, toothy grin. Good night. Now I'll go to bed.
Eric's learning all sorts of things today. Raj can make hut. Would have been helpful in Tundra. Raj mom bitch.
What?
You say you son of bitch.
Oh. You're not that stupid anymore.
That doesn't mean he's not that literal. He could still be that literal.
I may not be dumb, but I am absolutely Drax.
Alright, as you all fall asleep and rest for the night, the door awakens in the middle of the night, after a pleasant meditation.
And I'm already awake.
And you note that Eric is crouching around the remains of the fire, doing whatever he wants to be doing.
I mean, sleep is a luxury I don't need to take. So. I suppose I could sleep, but I'm gonna work on concocting poisons, testing out those mushrooms I found.
Alright. Give me alchemy or knowledge poison check.
I don't believe you've given me a knowledge poison yet, so just wisdom. Or
All right.
intelligence?
Intelligence.
18.
Though I suppose you could make an argument for working with poisons would require more wisdom than brains.
Well, at this point, I'm. So, if it was something that I had concocted before, or a experiment I had done before, I would argue the wisdom. But this is testing new things, so I'll side with the intelligence.
Okay. I like it. Anything from you to door once you awaken?
How far away is Puerto Rico?
About 40, 50 feet.
Set his tent on fire.
Spells can't go through the barrier, by the way.
But he can walk out of the barrier where he goes
Yep.
sleeping. He can burn that button down.
Adam, what was your roll?
18.
Excuse the typos, wasn't looking and had a cable in the way. You can interpret that.
Oh! Now, doesn't that seem fun?
Yeah. The door?
I'm going to exit the hut, start communing with nature. But mid-commune, I'm going to put out his fire with Druidcraft.
Okay.
And then produce a skunk smell. Centered right on him.
You hear an instant shout of alarm. Dirt Elf!
I continue communing.
Give me a... perception check.
Alright. 13.
You sense steps walking in your direction rapidly, and you hear a metallic ting of a blade being drawn.
I open my eyes and look at him.
You open your eyes to see a long sword apparently made of gold. Its tip
Do you want to jump?
pointed in your direction, maybe a foot from your face. You dare, Dirt Elf?
Dare what?
How loud / how far out is this from the hut?
Oh, you can certainly hear it.
Alright, I'm going to walk out of the hut and stick in the shadows since I can't really be seen there. And basically wait to see if anything hostile happens.
Stealth check.
Uh, 25.
Yeah, you seem to blend into the darkness quite well.
That's what I do.
Interfere with me again, Dirt Elf, and my blade will be the last that you see. I shall slice your body into ribbons and have them cast to the four corners. And then I shall hire a priest to desecrate your remains so that you can never be reborn. Do not cross me again. As you open your mouth to respond, his blade returns to its sheath and he turns and storms off.
A wide grin goes across my face as I continue my commune.
I will slink back to the hut.
Alright. As the night turns to dawn, the caravan and the rest of the party awaken. Raj, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Don't fuck it up.
17.
Alright, you still feel poisoned, but that's about the beginning and end of it right now.
You said he's growing spots on his hand.
You seem to have some black specks, black and white specks on his unscaled flesh, yes.
Maryland, just go home. I'll be right back.
Beardling, how feel you?
Not any better.
Well, come here.
But not
let's see
any
if
worse.
Well, come here. Let's see if I can help.
Shake and bake and I help.
Gonna go over.
I rub my hands together and press them against the wound, casting Lesser Restoration. Poison, disease, blind, and something else. What was the fourth one?
Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Which one are you trying to cure?
Hi-oh!
One of the conditions, or end a disease, or cure blindness, or deafness, or paralysis, or poison condition.
Lauren says, not today.
That was my understanding of the spell, so I'm going to assume that's Lord's rule there.
Yeah, it says you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it.
Yeah,
And
but
those
does
are
it say I
conditions.
have to know what the condition is?
No, but you can pick one. You have to pick one.
So can he
You
ask?
don't have to know what the poison is, or what the disease, or what caused blindness, or deafness, or paralysis.
Can we ask what is affecting me?
Sure, I ask what's wrong.
I still feel poisoned. I would have thought this would have gone away by now. I don't know much about these death dogs, though.
Well, Eric's tried to depoison you, so I'm going to go with the disease.
Alright. A soothing green light emanates out from his hands. His eyes flash an ethereal green for but a moment as you feel the warmth course through your body. And then that warmth turns to a blazing fire beneath your skin, causing you to itch rapidly. And the spots seem to vanish, and you feel better. The poison condition is gone.
Hmm.
Well, that worked.
I mean, you could have cured a symptom or the cure.
Or the
Duly
cause.
noted.
Or the cure.
Could have cured the cure.
Could have. The cure
Thank
for
you,
life.
Didor.
He cured the cure for life.
Well, yeah, it's the opposite of death dog. Duh.
I don't think you heard me right. But okay.
He cured the cure for life. Death.
No, that would be the cure for life. So if you cured that,
Gotcha.
That would have been a disappointing end for you. I would assume your death would be quite glorious.
again, second death.
Let's just say I would go out in a blaze of fire.
An inspiration to future bards. I like it.
I guess I'm gonna go check with the leader again. God damn it!
You really don't want to know his name, huh? You are so anti-remembering anybody's name this game, Dave.
I need to just start.
Last campaign, you had notes and new things that I didn't remember. This campaign, you don't remember things I said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Or I couldn't pronounce oral for a long time.
You still can't pronounce your mistress's name.
Indrischas.
Yeah, see?
It's the best I got.
I noticed. So what are we doing?
gonna check if the leader needs us to do anything.
So?
To get ready. I'm gonna walk up to him and say, Need any help?
The lions will be hitched shortly. Just keep an eye out if you see anything coming.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go back to the party and say, wants us to keep an eye out. I've got this direction.
Did you really go, I got this direction, and just did like a 90-degree turn and are now staring?
Yep.
Oy vey.
Yeah, that's essentially my reaction. I am going to go. I'm assuming there's some sort of cooking pot happening here.
You notice a few scattered cook pots around the caravan as it's being broken down and getting ready to go.
Let's see if I can snag a bowl real quick.
You are happily handed a bowl of gruel and a small cup of ale.
What race handed me the ale?
Dwarf.
I am going
The majority of the people in the caravan do appear to be dwarf, and as I said, you see a few scattered humans, a gnome, and a couple halflings, and of course the one elf.
I'm going to take a sip of the ale to test potency.
It seems it would be strong if it wasn't as watered down as it is.
Okay. I consume both happily. And I'm going to, just keep an eye.
All right. So I got two keeping an eye out. Pablo, you've been really quiet.
Yep.
Continues.
All right. Eric, you doing anything special? Or are you just doing the same? Especially as you can't see over the grass.
Just more of the same.
All right. Another long day of trudging seems to beckon before you. You spot with a perception check.
Ryan?
$18.
Eric's, you are just miserable and frustrated with the height of the grass. Can't see anything. In fact, one of the branches of the grass seems to poke you in the eye, causing greater frustration. The door. The wide open savannas. The kitchen seemed to captivate your eyes. You seem to enjoy the sights before you. The rolling low hills. The swaying grass and the occasional tree poking up. Really just, it's pleasant. You enjoy it. You don't see much else happening. Braj, and Pavu. Well, on the ground, neither of you seem to spot anything of interest. You both catch sight of what appears to be 3 large birds flying not far, pretty far overhead and a bit to the east. What really catches your eye is that their piercing cries, though they come to you faintly, seem to be greeted with bolts of electricity flashing from their beaks.
The hell are they? Never seen a lightning bird before.
What? Where?
I'm gonna point to
Oh, point.
the 3 circling.
They don't seem to be circling, but they seem to be flying almost in the same direction as you.
20 nature.
Guess there's some kind of breed of rock. ROC. Massive avians of elemental affinity.
Do I know anything about their behavior?
Generally, you put them right on a scale of neutrality. Large wild animals, they're predators, but they're not scavengers. Somewhat territorial, but their territories are massive. Not known to be going after the casual passerby unless hungry.
Rocks. Nothing to worry about. Unless, of course, they're hungry.
Like from the ground?
No, ROC.
Oh,
Could
you
we
speak
take
of the
'em?
birds.
That's your
Yes.
third snack.
You did not say as such.
Surely with 60
She
men
had a
we can
cheese
take
stick,
them.
and then she had an apple.
Hard to say. I have never met one in combat. I've only read of them.
I'm still just swearing about the grass. Not even paying attention to conversation about rocks.
Surely you jest.
Who's jesting?
I'm just kidding. Well, I didn't actually say that. I'm sorry. I need to get more alcohol.
Oh god, it's 7 o'clock and he's already loopy.
I said 7:30 is when we lost Dave. 7:25. I called it. Dave's getting rosy cheeked and everything. Look at it.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Right underneath the eyes.
Oh yeah.
The head bob there a second ago.
Now he thinks he's being cute and funny with the eyes. I don't know what you're talking
Not
about.
being cute and funny because we're not your fucking wife.
There's a little bit.
Shore up your shit. Get it together.
There's a little bit of he thinks he's cute and funny, and there's a little bit of everything we just said makes him super self-conscious. And now he's thinking about everything he does.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get your shit together. Yeah, you can squint your eyes at me all you want.
This isn't squinting.
This isn't squinting.
This is
That was a nice little bit there, Dave. This isn't squinting. As the day goes on, the rocks seem to pace you for a while. In the distance, you see a flock of 5 large lizard-like beasts with no forearms, flapping their wings, roaring in hostility. As you watch, the rocks seem to turn to face them. And in a matter of a minute or two, the birds alone soar through the air. As you watch 5 charred, almost dragon-like figures plummet from the sky.
Oh yeah, we can take them. No problem. Kill the rocks. Sounds like a good time.
Shard?
Charred.
Electricity.
You hear the slight reverberation, thump, 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 as each body hits the ground one by one. Radomir looks over from the front wagon. If you're looking for some action, you can go scavenge off of those beasties. I'd wait for the rocks to finish eating if they're hungry. But should be some good salvage off some wyverns.
Are any of the rocks, like, moving towards the bodies?
You see 2 start to circle as one starts to descend.
It's never wise to get in between a beast and its meal. You never quite know when it's finished.
I'd be willing to take a look once they're done.
How long wait for rock eat, though? Best to keep with pace. It's significantly more difficult than I anticipated.
That's an individual.
There's what, 5?
3.
3?
They just killed 5 wyverns.
I mean, I'm foolhardy as all hell, so I don't know. What you want? You want me to change my mind based on that out of character information?
Nope. You do you, Dave. You do you.
Like I said, unwise to get in between an animal and its meal. I don't.
Maybe Barrage Hunt or something. Maybe he'd take rock.
I could try to lull him to sleep.
Do not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Don't disrupt nature. Just let things happen naturally. Don't test fate either. It's foolhardy to go out there.
As I said, luckiest son of a bitch you've ever seen. You can bring me back again.
Eric's think Barrage have point. Think Barrage do, but wait till caravan safe distance away.
I've shared my wisdom. I will not be joining. Do as you wish.
Dave, you look so upset.
No, I'm just thinking Radomir is trying to get us killed.
What do you mean? He even said if you want to wait until they're done, should be good salvage.
Yeah.
He didn't say charge in there now.
Since when is prosciutto a delight?
Alright, well, I mean, you missed when I typed it in there, but it's always a delight.
Prosciutto is pretty delightful. Who doesn't love prosciutto? Besides Chris, he hates prosciutto.
I will not have you slander me, good sir.
Hey, you're the one having issues with prosciutto.
Wait, what's
Where is
wrong
this
with
coming
prosciutto?
from? What reference am I missing here?
No, I was making fun of the elf's name.
Oh,
I'm glad the DM picked up on that. And no
That
one
went
else.
completely went over my head.
I knew exactly what you were doing with that.
Well, Canada said Echo.
Alright, so we're not fighting the rocks.
Well, that's still up for debate.
I'm trying to encourage
Apparently.
Dave to go. I said that Braj could totally do it. He'd absolutely be able to low one to sleep. He should just wait till the caravan's a safe distance away.
I have shared my wisdom and stated I am not going out there.
As the caravan rides on, you note one bird, the bird that went down, brings itself back aloft, and a second rock descends.
So they're eating in time.
Assuming nobody's going to wait around, the caravan marches on.
I didn't think the caravan stopped. I was just.
It didn't, but I'm just saying it's going on, and so the wyverns and the rocks are passing behind you, unless Baraja is waiting.
No, I'm gonna keep up pace.
Don't look too disappointed, Dave.
Be an individual, Dave. I didn't tell you you can't go. I said
Don't
you should,
split the
and
party.
I'm not going.
Don't split the party, says the guy who most often splits the fucking party.
I've learned that lesson multiple times.
How do you learn a lesson multiple times?
I don't think you've learned at all. I think you've experienced.
The sun rises high, and trail rations are passed out among the caravan. The overall attitude seems to be rather peaceful and positive, as people, as the dwarves and caravanners seem to be rather upbeat about the prospects in the elven town and cities to the north.
Oh, Braj isn't singing this time, right? He broke his instrument last time.
He did. He punched a hole in his drum.
I can still sing.
I mean, that's on you. I just remember you were
Ooh,
trying
sing us a song, Dave.
you were trying to entertain the caravan last time and were successful to start, and they didn't kick anyone off the caravan, and then you broke your drum, and now you're like, well, I guess music's dead.
Well, and I was doing it because I was poisoned, so I didn't really want to walk.
You're still poisoned.
I'm not still poisoned.
No.
Why did you roll disadvantage after I cured you? You saw something going
Because
on?
he's in the grass, he can't
I'm
see.
short.
Ah, okay, that's right.
So lesser restoration work then?
Yep.
I believe I was AFK for that, so.
Yeah, he healed the disease that was afflicting me.
Righto.
Alright, as the day goes on, anyone want to do anything?
Yeah, Daydor, I'm getting a little hungry. Do you have any good berries?
Did they not just pass out rations?
What, dwarf ration too good for dwarf bard?
Well,
Or not good enough for dwarf bard?
Dragon-like dwarf bard. Gotta keep that in mind.
what?
You've got scales and sharp teeth, and a much more pointed, angular face than a typical dwarf.
I've just grown accustomed to a purer sense of. Well, I guess if it's meat, I would prefer meat, but. Oh, I like some berries, man.
You fucking holier than thou cunt. I've grown accustomed to a pure. Never wanted to strike you in the throat more.
I gone vegan,
I
minus the meat.
I
Dang,
can
you
cast
never
Foodberry.
amaze me. I'll extend a closed fist, turn my hand over. When I open my hand, there are 8 berries there.
As he passes out the berries, suddenly everybody except for Pavu, please make a wisdom saving throw. Eric's. Alright, you all feel a chill of fear shoot down your spines, and you feel it emanating from Pavu. You each quickly brush off the effect.
What was that about?
What was what about?
I sensed a spell emanating from you.
Almost as you were trying to impose your will on those around you.
Yeah, not spell, more like exerting force.
Like a pressure.
I'm learning more and more about this gauntlet. Apologize if it lashed out on its own. Learning to keep.
I missed that last part. Learn to keep what?
Learning to keep it in check. There's much to this artifact.
Fascinating.
Hopefully you don't influence some of the caravaners.
If caravan influence, they still guide us, no? Not really change much. Just different overarching purpose.
I guess if you subjugate all of them, I say under my breath.
Do I hear that?
Perception.
Oh, you are lucky. Perception is a 12.
Dave, what's your deception roll?
Never rolled a deception roll.
Come on, under 12.
20.
Yeah, you don't hear that, Pavu.
I pretend like I didn't hear Ashley either.
Dave's had 1 tequila, he's getting fucking saucy.
So I will. Are we alone or not?
I mean,
You're marching along with the caravan. You're not on any of the wagons, and there's nobody instantly trying to crowd in around you.
Sure, I will attempt to show them the. Sorry, babe. I will attempt to slide them a look, but I'm also trying to keep it hidden of the gauntlet, and then say from Bane and hide it immediately.
Kind of hard to hide the large gauntlet you're wearing.
Oh, that's right. I'm wearing it.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, you're keeping it hidden? I thought it was on you.
No, it is on me.
It's just like, hey guys, check this out. Nope, back under the cloak. Nobody look. Check out this large spiked gauntlet. Nope, just kidding.
That's right. I was wearing it loud and proud.
Yep. I mean, I'm assuming at this point, but I guess I'll, you've got a symbol of Bane prominent somewhere on you, yes?
Yeah, the gauntlet.
Yeah, my-
aside from, well, no, I mean aside from the gauntlet, like, I thought he had
no.
something else that...
I did, but I don't anymore.
Okay, you've got the gauntlet. But, okay, so,
Not loud, like, not revealed. I do have something on me, but it's not revealed.
right, I didn't know if you had it, like, etched into, like, your armor or something. So I guess the question that I should ask then is, having seen the symbol of Bane before, I'm assuming that this gauntlet is pretty much a spitting image.
Yeah.
Is a nice gauntlet. Look very strong.
You know what it is.
I nod.
You already know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I know.
I can smell. Smell what the rock is cooking. Wyvern. It's cooking wyvern.
I should have gone with that. Instead of between a rock and a hard place, should have gone with smell what the rock is cooking. Fuck. Fuck.
And at this point, we both know that they're brothers, correct?
You know their situation.
Yeah, I believe we've had not in-depth
Discovered
conversation,
this.
but we've had
Yeah.
brief conversation of it.
Sorry, Ball and Bane brothers. Yeah, I explicitly talked about it. What's
I'm
the?
going to give a nod to the gauntlet, seeing as Eric's brought it up. Brothers, like you and I.
Yes. Brothers. I'm really curious to see how long we keep this up, because lore in any D&D campaign is just chaos. So I'm curious to see if we're gonna like establish our own pantheon as like we lead as two kings.
We lead as two kings.
What's the great U.S. territory, Mr. Puerto Rico, doing over?
I was waiting for that one.
Oh, you're talking about Puerto Rico. He seems to be riding off by himself. Parallel, a little bit distant from the caravan, but riding with it.
Oh my God! Did you see what they were doing in Puerto Rico with the protests? I'm not sure if it was the governor or whatever, but they brought a guillotine to his house.
Guillotine.
Guillotine?
Guillotine.
How are you fucking French?
I always thought it was guillotine.
It's guillotine.
Definitely guillotine, and it's weird that 3 Americans are correcting you on that.
Oh my god.
I know the French pronunciation. I thought it was a different
Fucking
word in
poser.
English.
No, it's guillotine.
You are a poser. You learned all the French words, but forgot the big one.
Sacré moche, pas parfait,
Yeah,
fucker.
keep it going. Guillotine.
He tries to justify himself. It
Yeah.
was worth the giving.
I am
I'm just gonna spit a bunch of things. You don't even know what they are because I don't know French anymore.
Yep.
Never did. Guillotine.
Not a word.
I don't know about the governor. I'm assuming it's related to the dude that was hiding the supplies in the warehouse that they
What?
just like
Yeah.
broke into and found.
The lost water, like this whole aircraft carrier filled to the brim with water.
Yeah,
Jeez.
did you not hear about that? They found there was a warehouse that they were
Yeah, I did.
stowing supplies for the hurricane relief aid, and there was a not the mayor or the governor, but like whoever was in charge of the overall like relief effort was just putting shit in that warehouse, and a bunch of citizens
Holy
found
shit.
out about it and just broke in
Wow.
and just started dispensing the shit. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming
'cause that shit's still needed.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Well, they got hit with an earthquake or something after that too. So I'm assuming that dude is who had the fucking guillotine wheeled in front of his house.
Jeez. I had not heard that.
But I haven't heard the guillotine story. Just gotta assume in here.
No, note that everybody else pronounced it guillotine on the first try.
He's gonna go off in French again. Here we go. Go ahead, sacre bleu.
Je
Most
suis.
of Nova.
Where the hell were we?
I was asking if anybody wanted to do anything else, and Dodor asked where Puerto Rico was.
Ah, right.
Because Canadians don't know where states are, or territories.
Where is Puerto Rico? Is it like off the coast
Wow.
of Florida?
Wow. Wow, fuck yourself.
Michael Bublé? What?
Next, you're going to say you don't know where Guam is either.
Oh, you've never seen Friends?
Not in like, since I was 12, maybe.
Okay, I've seen all of Friends multiple times.
Joey was the best.
This was Joey trying to speak French. And he could, like, break it down, and then Phoebe was teaching. It's afterwards. We'll talk after.
What is trichinophobia?
I think Dave like skipped 2, 3, and 4 tequila, and he just had one and went straight to the floor.
It's either Dave's on the floor again.
No, I think he
by
meant Ashley. She's a,
Well, I assume that's why we have the tequila.
shut the fuck up.
It must be date night. I'm assuming that's why the tequila was happening, to numb him for later. Just busting out the big one.
Alright, so Joey can speak French, seeing as we're in Dave. Joey can speak small French, and Phoebe is teaching him. So she's feeding him words, and he pronounces them correctly. And then when she says, okay, now put them all together and make a sentence, he goes, blah, 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 da, da. And that's just every time. And Phoebe just loses her mind. She's like, I can't do it anymore. It's such a great episode. Friends is like an American gem. Get over the Ross, Rachel thing. Like, just watch it. The comedy is fucking hilarious. Very well written.
I've seen maybe 5, 6 episodes total.
Are you kidding me?
Never got into it.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
Oh, we had Dave back for a second.
Gone for like 10 minutes, sits down, types drink, and then goes right back. Why?
So, because he got knocked out.
I don't know what just happened, but I need another tequila.
He
Killed his
walked
headache.
out, said something to her. She socked him. He came to, sat down. Was like, "Fuck,
I told you tonight was going to be a quick night with Dave.
god damn."
When he says he's drinking tequila and it's like 6:45, I was like, all right, well, we're not getting 4 tonight.
Tequila.
Well, you guys will have plenty of Borderlands time tonight.
I hope not. I was looking
You
forward
hope
to this.
not.
I was looking
Dave's
forward to
dead.
this.
I'm looking forward to it too, but Dave is dead.
Dave's already dead.
Like, I know
Dave's
we're
got
busting
about-
chops, but he seriously have one shot and is this fucked up?
No, it wasn't.
He
a shot.
drank like
It was
2
a glass.
fingers at least.
Yeah, it was like 3 fingers of tequila.
Straight for Dave. And he drank that in about 25 minutes.
Yep.
Which, again, Dave has 2 or 3 beers, and we're losing him by 9. And he has that over the course of 6:30 to 9.
All right, well...
Dave's got about 20 minutes of actual sentences, maybe 30, 40 minutes of semi-coherence, and then he's absolutely gone. Especially if he's getting more.
The only thing I know with him when he gets drunk is the Olivia Munn scale. It's whether or not he's awkwardly showing naked pictures of her at a party.
What?
If we were at Ryan's apartment drinking with Dave, on his 4th beer, he started slurring his words, got on his phone, and just started sharing naked pictures of Olivia Munn.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
That's fucked up. Yeah, well, I guess we're approaching that.
Oh,
He's got food. We might get an extra hour out of this.
No. You're wishful thinking, man.
I don't know. What are you eating?
Tequila.
Oh, he's already got tequila.
Dave, you realize you were gone for like 15 minutes, right?
She made me cut a chicken. Sorry.
She made you cut a chicken.
A cooked chicken? What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got like a
Cooked
meal.
chicken.
I'm going with the over. I'm taking the over right now.
What's the question?
Nah, 9 o'clock tops.
Oh, see, you're changing now.
That's an hour at tops.
You said 30 minutes.
I said 20 to 25 of sentences and maybe a half hour of coherence after that.
Do you see how much
It's a lot of fucking food.
mashed potatoes I have here?
Is that bread too? You're carb loading over there.
Yeah, well, you're on your fingers 4 through 6 of tequila.
It's okay.
At least.
I'm going. All right.
I've known Dave a long time. He's done by 9.
I'm going 9:15.
If he's drinking that, he's done by 9.
9:15.
I'll take that bet. The terms being, next time I'm in town, you have to come out and grab a beer, and I'll buy it.
I'll come out and grab a beer and I'm buying.
You come out and have a beer. I'm happy with that.
All right. 9:15.
And in the middle, Chris comes down, and we both buy him a beer.
No, we make Chris buy us beers. What the fuck?
I'm still owed a beer from both of you from the fucking trophy. Actually,
What
no,
trophy?
Lawrence, you got me covered actually already when you came up. What do you mean, what trophy? What other trophy am I referring to?
I don't know this rule. This is bullshit. I'm not paying.
I apologize.
I've never heard of this rule. I've only been in this thing forever.
No. Yeah. Fucking what a cuck.
I want double what the budget for the trophy.
So come down. When are you coming down? Come down. See my kid.
Summer. I'm gonna aim for
Oh, great. When I'm busy.
early June.
Oh, fuck.
No, you're not busy in early June.
Let me know when you're down, man. I'll swing
Yeah,
down.
for sure. I'm gonna aim for early June, not anywhere near fucking what is it? Yankee Day. Independence Day. There you go.
Yankee Day.
Actually, you know what's great?
Fucking Canadians.
I'm not. Well, yeah, that. I am now. Like, I just realized this the other day. I am big dick swinging. in McQuaid's as far as like the meat department is concerned.
Sorry, dinner finished.
The only person who's senior to me is
Michael.
one guy. No, Ed. But regardless,
All right, back
I'm
to
the
game.
most. Yeah, that.
All right. So, we doing anything, or we want to continue the caravan?
I was thinking with the caravan. I am not fucking with rocks.
I'm basically just sticking with the caravan until something happens or we arrive.
All right. The caravan continues for another 3 days and 3 nights. Seems mostly uneventful as you plow through the grass, creating a new road that you hope others will soon traverse behind you.
I just hope I can see over it.
On the 4th day, as the sun approaches the zenith, you rise a small hill, and you watch as Porrico rides up to the front next to Radomir. As the sight opens before you, you see a massive, sprawling town. Square buildings greet you of varying heights. In the center rises a massive palace. You can see what appear to be roads well paved, heading in all directions, in and out, east, west, north, and south, though the southern ones seem to end shortly before the grass, clearly having been cut off by the once cold tundra. Even from this distance, you can see the bustle of people moving hither and fro. You see a massive marketplace lit by colorful tents, and even at a distance of what you guess to be a couple miles, you can hear the faint chatter of people going about their daily business, animals clawing and roaring. You can see what looks to be a training yard, as silver armored figures seem to glisten in the sun as their blades swoop down on training dummies or against each other in sparring matches. Radomir gives a whoop! Ha-ha, boys, we've made it! My Lord Porrico, I assume you'll do the introductory honors, and welcome home for yourself as well. Indeed. This way. And Porrico, for the first time, takes the lead as the caravan starts its trek towards the outskirts of the sprawling city megalopolis before you.
Turning towards the door. Eric's not know what to expect. They all like him?
Neither do I. That's why I resorted to childish pranks rather than full confrontation.
If they all like him, Eric's resorting to something else, maybe.
Well, perhaps we'll learn more about him. Perhaps he's not all talk.
What childish pranks did you pull that I missed?
Oh, I snuffed out his fire and made him stink of skunk.
That's
I'm
pretty
gonna
funny.
offer a full belly laugh. Fucking prick deserved it.
Eric's wait outside because before he go draw a weapon, but not do anything.
I guess we wait now.
It's the caravan. Go ahead.
See how well he introduces us in the caravan.
Is the caravan stopped or are we still approaching?
Oh, it's moving. Seems to have picked up pace as people are excited to reach civilization once again.
Yep, keeping pace with the caravan then.
Riding into the outskirts, you are greeted by the sight of what looks to be silver armored guards on almost every corner that you can see. Long swords at their belts and glittering spears gripped in their hands. You note, with a perception check, everyone except Pavu notes, that the vast majority appear to be only elven. Pavu, you only notice elves. The rest, you note the occasional human face peeking out from a helm. Though, since everybody got excellent rolls, you note that they each also seem to have a red cloth tail on the back of their helmets. But only on those that are not of the elven blood.
Not expect to see humans.
You saw humans?
I point out the figures with the red cloth tail. With the red cloth in the back of the helmet. Look like humans, no?
Perception, I assume.
Yep, with advantage.
With advantage.
You do notice that these are in fact humans, though very rare.
I did not notice that. Good eye.
Folk seem to be moving about in quite the tizzy, seeming to pick up into a more frantic pace as the caravan approaches. Many people seem to stop and gawk as they stare at a caravan from the south, which you'd suppose they haven't seen for a very long time.
Looking about, is there any trace or sign that this place was also frozen?
Give me an insight check.
Insight will be a 16.
You do not see the same crazed looks in any of the faces that you noted on the occasional city dweller in the dwarven town. Here, everyone seems to be healthy, hearty, and aware. Well, most seem to.
Sorry, just to backtrack for a second. I rolled a 17 on religion to see if the red tails had any religious connotation to.
To your knowledge, they do not.
Okay. And I'd also like to roll a perception to see if I can spot a single religious symbol or multiple.
Okay.
15.
I'd like to point out we lost Dave.
Yep, he said he was dying.
Yep.
I missed the dying.
The college bro in me hopes he's puking his guts out right now.
Cracks me up.
Elven Town seem unaffected? Different vibe than Dwarf Town.
You see a number of figures wearing a quarter moon or starburst symbols around their necks or tattooed on the back of a palm. You also see a large number of figures wearing red skull amulets or circlets with a red skull on the forehead. Additionally, you see some wearing amulets with an arc of 7 stars within a small circle. You also see tattoos of a similar design. You catch sight out of the corner of your eye of a few others that you believe may have a religious connotation, though you don't get a good enough look to be sure which they may be.
Not trying to cheat the system, so can I roll again to
Nope.
discern the ones I did see? No.
To figure out the ones you did see?
Yeah.
You can give me a knowledge religion check for individual ones if you'd like.
Alright, in the order you listed them, I believe I noticed Weejoss and 3, so I'm going to give you 3 rolls. Just confirmation it was 3 plus Weejoss. Or what I assume is Weejoss.
I thought I did Weejoss and 2 others.
Might have been 2. I was just...
I was going to say, did I give you a third? I didn't think I gave you a third.
Alright, I'm going to roll 2.
Okay.
17 and 18.
So you instantly recognize the symbol of Corellon Lorethian, the elven deity of art and magic, the quarter moon and starburst. And your second roll was an 18?
Yep.
Though you don't remember much, you do recognize the symbol of Celestion, the god of stars and wanderers, with the arc of the 7 stars inside of a circle.
Perhaps a kindred spirit. Stars and wanderers. Also more magic.
Oh, full of magic, no?
The caravan comes to a sudden halt, with Porrico holding his left palm to the air. As you make your way to the front to see what caused the halt, you watch as Porrico dismounts and bows low from the waist. The figure before you seems to wear a large flowing robe of midnight blue, his face covered in a half mask, a crimson red, almost as if flames were coming off of it. You do note the elven features poking out. Welcome home, lost son of Afo Thalore. You bring your travelers with you. Indeed, great one. The dwarves have been freed, and I myself from the icy prison. We come, I to return home, and these to trade and establish an embassy. There are also the band responsible for disbanding the ice. I believe they have a request of the city.
I wave from the grass.
Give me a perception check.
21.
Was that him specifically or all?
No, everybody can roll if they want. You all spot the masked figure's eyes flick in the direction of Eric's before returning to Porrico. Very well. You may set up in the Dwarven Quarter. Porrico, come with me, and have this band with a request. Speak with the local magistrate. We will see who they are deemed worthy to speak with. And with that, the figure turns and strides away. Only then do you notice the contingent following the figure. 2 lines of 12 white-robed figures, elven of blood, their heads bowed, their hoods drawn, follow in his wake. You see no armored figures following him, though the guards on the street corners seem to take a deep breath as they leave, almost as if they hadn't breathed the entire time the figure was present. Portico turns to Radomir. The Dwarven Quarter is that way, and he points to the northwest portion of the city. You should be able to find lodging and places to put up your lions and wagons. A magistrate will be along to see you for your trade goods and a potential embassy, as well as to speak with the Ice Slayers. Good day. Portico takes his horse, remounts, and rides off into the city at a light gallop. Trot, rather.
Stick with doors then.
I kind of chuckle. So he is capable of showing respect.
Radomir turns, standing on the top of the wagon. To the northwest, we head to the Dwarven Quarter. Keep your heads up, your chins proud, and your beards oiled, boys. Let's make an impression. The dwarves are back. Ha ha! And with that,
I'm going.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
I'm going to try to I'm gonna try to follow his lead and ask for some beard oil from someone.
I thought your beard was pretty well kept because the door took care of it. No?
He likes to braid it for you.
It's in a fancy braid, but upkeep, man. Got to keep that upkeep.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I'm gonna ask the nearest dwarf. Do you have some extra beard oil? Not used to this thing.
The bearded Bob's not used to his beard. Jones, get a load of this. The bearded bard just asked me for oil. Said he's not used to his beard. You're a
It
funny
grows
one,
on a
Bard.
man.
You're a funny one. And he rides on, assuming you were joking.
I'm gonna.
I wipe a paw on my jaw and offer up blood. I got this.
Oh.
Huh?
Try to hold back a vial coming up from my stomach and say, "No, I'll do." And I'll try to straighten it out as best I can with spit.
Ugh.
With spit.
We are heading to the Dwarven Quarter.
Wow.
Surely there's a merchant. Spitting on yourself in front of these falutin elves. Your brethren and these high-class elves. Not wise. Keep your eye out for a merchant.
As you ride through the city, you come across intersections. Occasionally they are a bit larger than others, and the people seem to take advantage of these larger openings. While fountains or statues seem to dominate the very center, you can see that there are stalls, wagons, and stockades set up. As you move through the city, you get a good look at what this place might be like. As you can see street preachers, slavers, merchants of all kinds, animal sellers, food sellers, all taking advantage of the space and the traveling. You are called out and hawked to from numerous directions, offering you goods of all kinds.
You said slavers?
Yes,
What kind of slaves do I see?
you see peoples of almost all races except for elves.
I grumble as we pass them.
You do see kobolds, goblins, orcs, humans, dwarves,
What kind of,
halflings, gnomes.
sorry. What kind of kobolds?
They seem to be sandy brown in scale.
Knowledge local if I've heard of the tribe?
Sure. Disadvantage since you've never been here or heard of this land.
I didn't know what else to possibly roll.
Knowledge kobold.
Knowledge kobold, yeah. 14.
Yeah, you have no idea.
I grumble as we pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the slaves and be like, "Makes sense," and keep walking.
What mean makes sense?
I'm gonna say in a hushed voice, "Well, if you think you're better than everyone else, then it doesn't seem out of place to pay for such things."
Mutant dwarf, your beard shit. Want some oil?
I'm gonna look disgusted and say, "Yes, I would like some oil."
You see a portly gentleman in brown robes standing before a wagon with vials of all colors, oils, liquids, salves, and pungent aroma.
Dave's gonna buy 500 pounds of salt.
This way then, fine mutant dwarf. What shall you need?
Need an oil to keep this beard controlled, but also maybe a little bit of fire along with it. Maybe some
Ryan's face.
earthy aroma to impress the ladies when I do my performances.
Well, nothing holds up like rendered goblin fat oil. Plus, you can use it to shine those scales of yours. Unless that's some kind of disease. In which case, please, no touching.
It is a disease. He's very diseased.
Ah! Ah! What is that?
I'm not diseased.
How does your jaw stay on?
What do you mean?
Not you?
ligaments?
That kobold thing.
Oh.
A mutant dwarf, a blood-jawed kobold,
Not kobold.
giant?
Just kobold.
and Sir Elf. My apologies, he says, bowing to the door.
You should show the same respect to me as to my friends as you do to me.
Of course, Sir Elf, of course.
As for how jaws stay on, just well. See? Yeah.
Ah! I'm afraid my shop's closed for the day. He pulls a rope and the cloth drops down.
I just
and he
start
dips behind
dying.
it.
Excuse me, did you just shut your shop in front of my friend?
He popped immediately behind the curtain as well.
I'm assuming a curtain does not block noise.
No, it does not. Still saying that?
Yep.
I'm afraid we're closed. No one's here.
Don't mind me just ruining Dave's oil shopping experience.
I'm still dying. I'm dying. Like, on my knees. Cannot contain myself. Laughing hysterically.
I'm going to look around, see if I see any more oil shops that have similar vials to this one.
Give me a perception check.
So, Eric's not mean ruin shopping experience. Just try to have fun. We'll stay quieter for next. Sorry about
Hold
the bad
on.
beard.
Hold on.
Good night.
I stand up and knock.
On the curtain?
I'll just.
He just dropped the curtain and stepped behind it.
I know.
Curtain adjacent.
No, I'll stick my head behind the curtain.
The portly man. Ooh!
We did not mean to offend. You clearly have.
No,
Very
no
good
offense was had,
business
Sir
model.
Giant. No offense was had. Here,
Can I-
take a vial of kobold oil. It's all yours.
Wait, cobalt oil?
He holds out a vial in a yellow teardrop glass, holding it out to Pavu. Take it. I'm afraid business hours are over. I must close shop and head home. My poor wife and daughter need me. Please, just take the vial.
I have no intention on doing you ill will.
It's all yours, sir. It's all yours.
Calm yourself.
Eric, sorry.
He places the vial at your feet and scurries back a step. Steps out from the curtain.
I'm
Taps the
trying
top
to
of
like.
it, and it seems to bloop, magically plop into a large sack.
I mean, it makes sense.
If you don't mind, I'll just be going now, he says, and hefts the sack over his shoulder. And starts slowly backing away towards one of the side streets.
I simply meant to pay you what.
A gift for Sir Elf. Have a good day, sir. He turns and scurries away.
Do all elves get free things?
Aye, you hear from a gruff voice behind you.
I turn to the voice.
Yeah, that.
You see a figure. You'd say it's probably about 6 feet tall if it were to stand upright. However, it seems to lean forward, relying on a large reptilian tail to balance its forward weight. As you look into the eyes of what looks to be a lizard folk. Its scales tattooed with black and blue runes. A X-shaped vest seems to crisscross it, where you can see a number of both blades and vials hanging from it. Elves have their way in the city. It is their kingdom.
Big, not kobold, but not far off.
I am no kobold. And you are strangers here. Even you, Sir Elf. I can smell the road on you.
I bow courteously. I am the door. We no need to be strangers, and you are?
I am
Alright,
though I'm told that is difficult to pronounce for you.
can I get a typing on that?
You can call me sick.
Well, no sense letting this go to waste, and I will pocket the vial of oil.
Eric's know what that is. Not give hard time, but no, Eric's judge you.
Well, sick. What can you tell me of this town?
It is elven, but not the elvins of the south. These elves are lords of magic, and they rule the empire. You will never see an elven beggar, nor an elven slave here. Though those that would otherwise be enslaved are killed instead. There is trade from all over here. The elves take the long view as they expand their empire. The south has been frozen for many hatchings. So the empire has been expanding elsewhere.
So Elven Town not frozen over?
No. Though I imagined if this is your common tongue, you will have some great difficulties here.
I assume you mean most interactions are done in Elvish?
Not at all. We simply have a simply different trade tongue here called Machin.
There's been reference of matching before, has it not?
I will say hello in Machin.
Ah! He responds in a similar sounding tongue, then you do not understand a word of what he says.
I'm going to say no, and then say hi.
His head tilts in a very reptilian manner. Switching back to common. I'm guessing that is the extent of your knowledge.
Approximately.
Probably not good to say no to everything, then. I asked the common greeting of the language. Do you remain free? And you responded, no. A slave wandering about can be taken by any if unclaimed. In answering no, you either perjure yourself or invite capture.
That'd be interesting.
Not think your mistress liked that too much.
Good to know.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Who is this mistress? I note your mutation is draconic. It is why I risked speaking with you despite the elf's presence.
Ooh, no. Eric's answered this question before, and it not do well. Eric's... Sorry. I just go wide-eyed and shut my mouth. I'm gonna let Dave feel it.
The lizard folk's tongue flicks out numerous times as he cocks his head once at Eric's and once back at Barrage.
I'm going to say, in a hushed tone, the ancient red, Mindristras.
She lives. This is good. The hatchlings would love to hear stories of her.
Yes, you should go talk to hatchlings. Tell how you peed yourself.
She is a most fearsome sight.
There is no shame in showing deference to the greater predator.
Perhaps, where are you staying? Once I get my bearings in the dwarven quarter, maybe I can come visit.
The folk live below.
Ah, how would I get there?
He gestures towards a large capped opening on the side of the street. That is a way, and there are numerous other caps around the city. Or numerous dens offer passage down as well. Not all of the sewers are tamed. If you are all friends of the mistress, you are all welcome.
They are indeed friends of my mistress. In fact, anyone who pays their tithe is a friend.
Generations of hatchlings have tithed their blood to the mistress.
That's probably sufficient. I do not presume to speak for her, but I speak on her behalf as best I can.
Wait, Eric's confused. You don't speak for her, but you speak on behalf?
Yes.
I turned to the door and
Sick is confused too.
I just shrug.
I think he means that he assumes nothing. He speaks only with direct instruction.
See, that
Of
makes
best
sense. Why not say
interest.
that?
You are staying in the dwarven quarter?
It's where we're going to set up shop, yes.
It seems you've lost your guides. Slaves! 2 tan kobolds come running over. Take them to the dwarven quarter. Yes! Come!
Oh no, slave kobold.
I'm going to slight nod and say thank you. I will find you again.
Sit will send hatchlings to find you later. Sleep well, and beware the elven high lords.
Was it Sick Sithlisk Cass?
There you go. Just call him sick. It's fine. You said you could. Sorry.
I'm going to spend my time darting back and forth between the 2 kobolds, just very unsure of what to do in this situation.
Before progressing, since we are in the market, kobolds, bring us to your finest tailor.
They respond back in a tongue very unfamiliar to you, but similar to what Sick had spoken to Braj. They cock their heads and stare at you.
Eric, some assistance, maybe?
Speaking far common.
Not no tongue of town, but I try Draconic. Elf ask you take us to find Taylor?
Master say? Dwarven.
No, their master says Dwarven Quarter. They not different course.
They each seem to take one of Eric's arm and start tugging him in the direction they were heading before.
Okay, I follow.
A low growl. Follow.
At the growl, you notice the kobolds seem to glance warily over their shoulders in Pavo's direction. Continue to lead.
Eric's can walk, not need tug.
They don't seem to understand your common tongue.
I say Draconic.
Oh! And they drop your arms.
I think they like you.
I think they want to accomplish their task.
Oh.
If you were a slave, you'd want to follow orders too, no?
Technically, you were all slaves, and none of you followed orders very well.
I was going to say, I guess.
Wise to follow orders until the uprising.
Ooh, uprising. Yes, Eric's get started.
The kobolds lead you through back alleys instead of the main roads. You notice it seems to go much faster as you avoid much of the crowd. Though you do have to step over the occasional beggar, humanoid, or halfling in nature, most common, you note, or the occasional pile of garbage. Though you do note there are grates where, as you walk, you note occasional gouts of flame burst forth. As you walk through, you see occasionally a shop door opens in the back of a building. Someone tosses a large pile of garbage or trash on top of these chutes, only for it to be incinerated moments later.
So, these vents that are spewing flame, is there a timing to them?
You don't seem to hesitate near one long enough to determine.
Okay. As they're guiding us around the town to our destination, In Draconic, I will ask them if there are many slave kobolds in this town.
Many broods. Many broods. Kobolds breed fast. Lots and lots of baby kobolds. Need do something.
Yes. You think maybe kobold have enough being slave? Maybe want more?
What more? Kobold born, do work, die. But kobold fed, kobold warm, kobold safe. No dragon eat, no human hunt.
Yes.
Yes, stupid kobold get killed for being stupid, but kobold live.
But what if kobold can do all of that and be free?
Kobold never free.
I point to
Kobold
myself.
do what bigger say. Bigger say, do you do. That how kobold live. That kobold way.
I point to myself. Kobold can be free.
They point at Pavu. Is kobold free?
Yes.
I was interested in Pablo's response there.
I'm
in
speaking
Draconic.
Draconic.
I know.
All
but
he
I would
saw was two
love to have
kobolds
heard
screaming
Pablo's
for
response
fire.
there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I'll pause.
Of course he's free.
Well, you don't understand them.
You don't know. We
You just saw
don't
them say
understand any of
something,
that.
smile
Ow.
toothily, and point at you, and then smile toothily and chuckle back at Eric.
I just reacted like, what if that was in common? What would go down?
I just didn't know if you wanted to react based on kobolds.
Them pointing
you,
at, pointing at you, and then smiling at Eric's and chuckling.
What did he say?
Kobolds think you master of Eric's because you bigger.
No, friend, brother, never master.
I nodded to two kobolds. Not know if you hear what he say, but more like brother.
Hatchmate?
Different kin, but yes.
Then him. And they point at the door. You note weirdly, almost in sync both times.
Also no. Him not so
Nah.
much.
Now you lie. Elf always master.
This elf not.
Tch, lie.
What are they saying, Alex?
Eric's tell them that you and I more brother than master slave. So now they say the door master and tell Eric he lied. Elf always master. Eric's think that if find smarter kobold can do something, but these ones too, I'm gonna draw a blank on a different word for this. Too accustomed to slave relationship, too comfortable.
They are of a hive mind.
Trying to think of a different word for subservient. Eric's isn't about to bust that fucking one out.
Quasi-dependent.
Eric's going to use quasi.
No, Eric is not going to use quasi. Not no word for, but too used to the way things work. Not seem like they want change, even if change for better.
Dependent. They lack self-sufficiency.
And comfort do not change.
found a way to make things work, even if it means someone else orders.
Eric says, as a kobold, you know that this is the typical kobold way. Is they find something of strength and they latch on.
Traditional kobold. Find
The
strong.
the death of a few kobolds is a small price to pay for survival.
Find strong, stick with. That's
So could you not take them with us? You are a strong kobold.
Eric certainly try, but need to break through that thought that Eric's has other masters first. If they think that Eric's constantly do things because I'm told, not send the right message. Need find way to show Eric's in charge of Eric's, and they can be safe.
As you continue your conversation, you suddenly find yourself standing on the edge of a large industrious area. You can hear the clanging of smith hammers, the calling of dwarven voices, and what looks to be a number of large shelters and markets, smaller markets, where dwarves have set up shop. Okay, dwarves, bye! And the two kobolds set off running.
Eric's need find way to reach kobolds in town. We'll think on. But
They have found a way of survival. I'm all for one's freedom, but they need to be able to live with it.
can do both.
I hope it's not too late for them.
If Eric's can do, other kobold can do. Eric's just need to find a way to show them that.
They spent their entire lives as slaves. You, I assume not.
I mean, kobold life no different. Find strong, stick with. Even in prison, Eric's do same.
Who's your strong now? Not. Ball will not smile on every kobold the way they've done with you. He's done with you.
Maybe not, but if kobold follow teachings of Ball, he not smile on them. Not saying they as favored, but not mean he not take under wing.
All life has its place. I love life. Make sure it can continue.
So, is there a central dwarven building? Is there already I know we came here with the caravan to establish an embassy is what they were going to do. Is there already like a central building where it looks like those who would be in power are gathering or would gather?
You see a number of buildings with a lot of dwarves moving in and out. There is definitely a more ornate building rather central to the district, which you can spot. It seems to have a number of carved hammers and dwarven figures standing framed right outside the doorway.
What do I hear? What am I able to read?
You speak or read dwarven?
Yep.
Then you hear lots of dwarven voices, some merchants, some people going about their business, some people calling wares, some people setting shops. You hear dwarven musicians performing in nearby taverns. You see dwarven women going about laying out laundry on lines overhead. You see buckets of unmentionables being poured into the lanes carved in the sides of the street as it flows down into the alleyways.
You guess heading back towards one of the fiery spouts you've passed. In general, it looks like a miniature town, all crammed into a smaller quarter.
Pointing to the ornate building. Think magistrate head there?
I look for some signage.
You see a number of signs for various blacksmiths, tailors, clothiers, fletchers, brewers, wagon wrights, wheelwrights, wainwrights, tanners, animal tamers. As you look about, you also see a sign, a small carving above the heads of the statues on the ornate building that just says law.
Is that the law thing? Is that where Eric's pointed?
That is.
Mentions something of law. Nothing about an embassy, but
Well, caravan.
perhaps a good place to look.
Caravan come to establish embassy, so embassy not built.
Yeah, and I guess with the embassy, the first place they'd go is local law enforcement. So let's go check it out.
As you're looking about, you suddenly feel a tug on your shirt. As you look down, you see a small halfling child with a basket of flowers. She speaks to you in a rapid tongue you begin to recognize as Machin, and she holds up a flower to you.
To me specifically?
Yeah.
I'll take the flower and offer her a berry.
She smiles and then holds out her hand to Braj.
The elf accepts the wares, and everybody else has to pay.
I'm going to ask in Halfling, what would you like?
She speaks back in rapid Machin
I
and holds up.
don't understand.
Look like she want one shiny.
I didn't take any of her wares. And I
She
looked.
stamps her foot and shouts loudly in Machin.
I'm going to look to Didor.
I give her a copper.
She smiles toothily. You note she's definitely lost some baby teeth, accepting the coin from Pavu. Gives a slight nod of her head and holds up a flower, a hopeful look in her eye.
I take it and hand her a silver.
Her eyes go wide and she hands you the whole basket.
I decline it.
She smiles, says something else in Machin, and runs off, clearly not worried about selling more flowers.
What was that exchange?
What exchange?
What just
My
happened here?
exchange.
You take flower. Halfling girl want coin. Raj not pay coin. Pavu pay coin.
They bartered using coin as the common currency.
How drunk are you?
Me?
Jesus.
Dave! What the fuck is that?
He's on my level. What are you guys giving him shit for? Didor has no concept of money. That was perfect.
You have some concept at this point.
You've been to a market before.
I never bought anything. I never needed anything.
You didn't.
And I was confused. That was
but
the
you've
first transaction I've had in this game. That involved coin.
Okay. Fair enough.
What other... If you guys could tell me another interaction I've had in coin in this campaign...
I thought that you also purchased stuff back in the Dwarven town when it was unfrozen with the rest of us.
Nope, I stood out, and I even called out. Yeah. If the door had any concept of money right now, he'd be pissed, because you're spending his bank right now.
Touché. Yes, you did say that. Alright. I withdraw previous statement. Sorry.
I'm going to tentatively hold mine out there because I don't think Dave picked up on
What?
that.
I'm going to give Dave the benefit of the doubt, and he picked up on that, so...
Dave definitely bought shit.
Dave absolutely bought shit.
Dave
Of course I bought
definitely
shit.
I know, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he understood where I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So that's been addressed.
Loosely.
So the things you keep giving away to Bavu, you can use them to buy anything if you have enough.
Interesting. Well, it seems one's appearance is paramount in these parts. Perhaps I should visit that tanner over there. Does any of my coin remain?
I have some.
I'm assuming that you're asking Pavu.
All of your coin remains.
Oh.
It spent good of the party, and it was needed. We have more than... I simply hold it because... I can.
I had no appreciation of its value. Well, come. I need to update my my ensemble. I'm gonna head towards the tanner.
Your
It goes
ensemble.
away.
Do you say it
that's
like
why-
that in game?
Oh yeah, I'm sticking with elves or French and pretentious fucks, so that's my thing now.
You got the pretentious part.
I was
Yep.
gonna say.
Coin does weigh. That is the only reason I hold. As we're
Yeah.
walking to...
My note for Portico is pompous ass of an elf.
You could
Well,
just
he's not that high level
you could
culturally.
you could have just written elf.
Northern elves have a bit of a pomp to them.
Alright.
You do big things right now, Canada. Go.
I just want to look sharp. So, with my background of tailoring and leatherworking, I just want to pick out something that looks... and do whatever back and forth you desire for a final price.
So you're walking into the tanner?
Yep.
Alright, you're instantly struck by the scent of chemicals and drying meat, drying flesh, as you see the skins of numerous animals, beasts, scaled and otherwise, stretched out, chemicals being applied, brushed and beaten into them. Numerous dwarves seem to be working quite feverishly. One such comes over, removing a mask, to reveal a slightly feminine face behind the bearded. Aye, and what can I do for you?
Ah, yes, young lady.
Young? Late? What? Yes, a buff down at your service. I don't think I've been called a young lady in many a decade.
Ah, your beauty is really resilient.
A flatterer of an elf? You must be gone mad. Why else would you be in this quarter? Let alone flattering an old wench like me.
I seek proper garb for one of my station.
You
Is
seek
your,
garb and came to a tanner?
Where I'm from, tanneries are both for utility and for appearance. I assume by your reaction this is a utility.
We make leather of all kinds here. I mean, if you want to be adorned in leather, I suppose you've come to the right place. If you're looking for armor, we can craft some, make some up. But if you're looking for something befitting an elven station,
I think you're better off in the tailors, no? Though, I can't imagine any of the other elves would be too impressed to see you wearing dwarven make.
A cultural difference between our people. I apologize.
I'm guessing you're not from around here. One second, this amulet gives me a headache. And she calls over a little boy, a younger dwarf, and pulls a golden amulet with a book on the end off from around her chest. She starts to speak in rapid Machin. The boy, in more hesitant Common, speaks up. She apologizes. She's the merchant's amulet gives quite a bit of headache in speaking in a tongue you're unfamiliar with.
I'll reply in Dwarven and express my apology.
In Dwarven back.
So how was dinner?
Got a strange accent. Where are you from?
You liked it?
Uh,
I was worried for a bit.
month's journey to the
Was there
south.
too much garlic?
Many months, perhaps. I've kind of lost track.
Huh. Well, didn't take long. Tundra melts and everyone starts coming north. The elves will be happy. No offense. He turns and speaks rapidly back at the dwarven female who seemed to have been glaring at him for going off track.
Regardless, I thank you for your insight. I shall leave thee.
He speaks rapidly to the woman, who responds back. He runs to the back and comes running back, holding out a small roll of leather. My mistress wishes to offer a gift. It's not every day an elf comes to the shop.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, at least
I bow and accept the
I
gift.
know she's like a friend.
He seems stunned at your bow, as does the woman.
Who's done it?
They both look at each other with both mixture of confusion and befuddlement.
Left you to fucking die.
In my more accustomed method of trade, I offer a bear.
A berry?
Yep, I still have 7 good berries left.
The boy accepts it tentatively and looks at it curiously, passes it to the woman. Speaks rapidly to the boy again, and he goes back. My mistress thanks you?
Food is rare in my parts. That'll keep you full for a day. Complete nutrition in one small package.
Right. Thanks.
I tried. I'm gonna leave.
The boy holds out his hand and grabs Braj just by the tunic. Excuse me, Sir Dwarf, he says, in common.
Yes.
He waits, looks over meaningfully, waiting for the door to leave.
I'll leave.
The roll of leather's 5 silver.
I'm not his servant, but I know you need to make a living, and I will give him 5 silver.
He turns and hands it to the woman. If you're not a servant, why do you travel in his entourage?
His friend.
We're all from the south, so we don't want to stray
Speak
very
for
far.
yourself.
We ain't from around here, so we don't want to get separated, if you know what I mean.
Well, a word of advice then. He's going to get a lot of gifts walking around here as an elf. You're going to be expected to pay for them, if you're with him.
Gotcha.
And if we are not,
Well, it depends. If they find out you're his companions, someone may seek the coin later. Or they may just treat it as an actual gift. You never know.
And how much for one of those? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, guess that depends on what gift is.
That depends on where you go in, or rather where he goes in.
And how much for one of those merchant necklaces?
Are you a merchanter?
No, but the languages would be useful.
You can rent them from the guild, though if you're not here to trade, they'd be mighty expensive.
Is there someone that can teach us language?
I'm sure there's a tutor around. They'll probably not be cheap either, as I don't think there's much call or much popularity for one to speak the common tongue.
If looking for a tutor, where look?
Well, if you go to any of the magistrates, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Or, well, any place of learning might be a good place to start. There's a library about 3 districts over. And you've got the Human Mage College not too far away from that. I wouldn't recommend going to the Elven College. Well, he might get away with it, he says, with his chin pointing in the direction the door left. The rest of you, not likely.
You say magistrate. We actually wait for one of those. That building with law sign?
Aye, that's where the local mayor lives.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Indeed.
And I will tip him a copper. Say thank you for the advice.
He nods his head and passes the coin over to the woman.
And I will smile and bow to the woman as well.
She nods.
I leave. I'm going to find the door so we can have a talk about the markets and how he's robbing people.
The door, did you wander off or did you just walk outside and look around for your friends?
I did intend on walking outside and waiting, but the troll in me wants me to go wander. Nah, we'll go with my intention.
Hey, so the door. Those things you given? The gifts? They want us pay for them. Braj cover you, past couple. They, from sounds of it, they give you things because elf, but it's still market, still need shinies. So Braj gives shinies for you to get things.
You have a quizzical look. Why call it a gift then?
Eric's think call it gift because you elf.
Appearance?
I wonder if we were not near him, they would not expect payment.
Could test it next shop, but not want anyone be anyone owe in place of.
I don't think this is a very good learning experience for his first foray into bartering.
I'm very familiar with bartering. Economics, on the other hand, and commercialism, not so much.
I'm cobbling it together myself, so I just know that
Dave, you're the only one with real experience in trade.
I just know that Braj is being charged for things that you're getting. So I'm relaying the message, basically.
Confused as to why they call it a gift and expect payment.
Well,
I'm just gonna go to the magistrate.
Maybe
Clearly, because of your superior race, they expect.
maybe it costs less because elf. Maybe that how gift.
No, they view us as inferiors. The door is our master. And so we pay because he does not handle it.
Eric's not thinking that. That makes sense. Pabu's smart too.
I've only noticed it increasingly as we have come deeper into the city.
To the magistrate.
But Eric's do find out building with law sign where mayor is. So probably best place wait magistrate.
You did say mayor of this section. Not sure how many mayors there are in the town.
How
City.
many quarters are there? Yes, I am asking that in character. How many quarters are there?
That's a good question.
One would assume slave, elf, and royal.
Slave quarter?
I do not understand these buildings or layouts. Not like this.
Surprising from one from Bane.
What mean?
Oh, Bane has a history of a great many slaves.
I bristle. Does not mean I know where they are. And Bane does not keep slaves. Bane shows the way.
I'll have to refer to the library. I am going to assume you are the authority on the matter.
Oh, they did say library nearby. What, 3 blocks away, you said? Something like that? If I recall correctly.
Something like that.
Perhaps something to review in my off time. For now, let's go see the magistrate.
Let's go.
To the magistrate.
To the magistrate or to the mayor's house?
The
To the
mayor's.
mayor's house.
I meant the
Wait for the
mayor. I'm
magistrate.
sorry.
Very different things.
Yes, 100%. I apologize.
That's why it's like, I don't know where you guys are going. You could be striking out in a random direction, assuming you could figure out where the magistrate is, or you could be going somewhere else.
I meant the mayor. My bad.
Right.
I mean, you have no assistance from us, so.
As you walk up to the central house, you do note that it's got a bit more ornate work done to it. You'd notice a squad of 4 dwarves with hammers lounging outside. They seem to be wearing heavy leather baldricks, though you see no no metal armor on them. They look you up as you walk up, and they give each of them a shoulder bow as the door walks by. They make no effort to stop you.
No metal armor on him, huh?
You say that in character or out?
No, Eric wouldn't know the difference.
Okay.
What is it, Ryan?
2 seconds.
Right.
Sorry, I was commenting out of character, Chris.
Oh, no. It's fine. Do that all you want. I just want clarification. Because the door would have had a response.
No, it's just... Out of character. When's the fucking last time you passed by a cadre of dwarven guards that aren't wearing at least some manner of metal armor? They've got forges.
I assume the slaves do not have access to the top tier materials.
I mean, but sure, but we're in the dwarven quarter and we hear actively hammers ringing out from the forges.
Supplying the top tier materials to the master. That's it. I would have gone somewhere along those lines.
No,
With the
it's
assumption train.
it's a reasonable train of thought. I'm not trying to argue against that.
Ryan's very disengaged tonight.
A little bit. Not even a little bit. Very.
Am I wrong in assuming that Bane is like all in on slavery?
Yes. Bane is about controlling everybody weaker than him. Like domination.
So I'm not wrong.
You're not
Yes,
wrong.
I'm right.
You're not wrong. Ryan has refused my tips, hints, and pointers.
Fair enough.
I believe Ryan's train of thought is that they're not slaves, they're just subjects. I could be wrong on that.
Everything's to interpretation.
More of a conversion than a control. But
Everything to interpretation. Wow, you guys had perfect timing. Back at the exact same time. You even just turned in sync. That was weird. You were both looking one way, and then you both turned toward the camera in sync. It's really weird.
it's the mind meld.
Yeah, they both took their headsets off at the exact moment, walked away, came back, faced the same way, and then turned to the camera at the same time. Really strange.
Alright, so, Mayor's house.
So you walk through, and there's a large open area. A small fountain decorates the middle, and a dwarf with well-oiled, well-groomed hair and beard greets you. He seems to be in quite a bit of finery as he bows. And speaking in rapid Machin, he speaks something at you. Braj picks up, hello, and then understands nothing else.
No, we don't know that one.
He looks up rather confused. And then tries again in Dwarven. Welcome to the House of the Bloodkith. How can we help our esteemed elven comrade?
We we have a magical staff of Oral that needs destroying. We are hoping the this great magic city could help us accomplish this task.
But I don't mean to correct the good sir, but perhaps the elven quarter might be more to your needs?
We were led here to see who we were worthy enough to speak with.
Ah, you big blowhard! They're with me. They're waiting for the magistrate. You hear coming from behind you as Radomir walks in behind you.
Is he saying it in common or Dwarven?
Dwarven.
No one in this town speaks Eric's language. Ah!
He then proceeds to speak in rapid Machin with what you now presume to be a butler.
How do you think I feel, Eric's?
Eric's just lost.
I don't mean to speak Dwarven, but I am Dwarven.
Well, that...
Easy now. Mayor asked how he can assist. I said we're here to destroy the staff of Oral. Rachin came in and called me a blowhard. What was his name? I'm sorry?
Radomir.
Radomir. Rachin. Where did I get that?
I have no idea.
Radomir called me a blowhard and came in and said we're waiting for the magistrate.
And I point to Braj. Be like, you new dwarf, basically hatchling.
Radomir turns and in common speaks to the door. I called him a blowhard, not you. The mayor will be with us shortly. There's a waiting room up there with some refreshments. Follow me. And he blows past the butler.
I'm gonna talk to Radomir and say, "Is there anyone that can teach us Machin? I know a little bit."
Ugh, you're in for a rough time if you don't speak it already. But if you got a couple gold, I can get you a primer, and the mayor might know somebody that can tutor. Maybe one of the young scholars would be interested in a few coin.
Eric's have shinies.
If you got enough, you can get almost anything in the city. And he leads you into a 20 by 20 chamber with very short but plush furniture. You see a number of decanters and glasses set out for use. Pavu, you note that sitting down on almost any of the furniture would be rather awkward for you to stand back up from, as they are all built to dwarven height.
Am I not subject to such awkwardness?
It would be, but not nearly to the level of Pavu.
I'm going to start pulling cushions off of furniture and measuring it out on the ground.
Radomir just gives you a weird look, plops down, and then pours himself a glass of what looks to be a blue liqueur. Now the Bloodkith, they're a sensitive bunch, but they're not bad sorts for dwarves. They might have gotten a little bit too much of a elven influence, but you should do alright. Just be honest with her, up front. He looks at the door. She'll know right off you're not one of them city elves, so don't expect the same bowing and scraping from the people on the street. The rest of you should be fine. I imagine the magistrate will be by in a day or so, and you can ask them whatever you need.
The lack of groveling would be refreshing.
It's not groveling. Elves can do what they want in this city, and the others pay for it. I'm sure you've already gotten a taste of it, and that goes with violence as well. As an elf, you can kill most anyone, and you'll be fine. Or they'll decide that you've let down the elven blood, and they'll take you out back and hide your body and then burn it.
What difference between those results? Can just kill anyone if elf, but sometimes bad?
I ain't no elf. I don't know the rules exactly. The elves follow their own rules and code of conduct. You do what they say, you show some obeisance to them, and you let them get on the way. A happy elf makes for happy everyone else. You piss off an elf in the city, you're like to lose your shop, if not your hands, or worse.
Not that I'm about to go murdering elves, but someone knows the sky's self. Thank you, Lawrence.
In disgust, I look to Eric's and kind of give a nod.
Towns certainly have things to learn.
Just be glad. There's only a lesser drill mach in the city right now.
Oh, what?
A lesser drill mach. You'd call him something like a lesser king or a minor overlord.
Is that elf with fancy mask?
No, that was a high priest. Mages of the highest caliber. You don't fuck with them.
Oh, that priest?
They rule.
The ones with the masks are the hands of the Drillmach. Not the lesser Drillmach, but the Drillmach himself. You see the blue robes without the mask? They probably work for the lesser. With the mask, they're the direct hands. Their word is law as far as anyone's concerned.
How many hands?
How many do you have?
I look at both my arms. 2?
The High Drillmach has 2 Drillmachs below him. Each Drillmach has 2 lesser Drillmachs. And below them, they have a course of nobles. And then, of course, you just have the elves themselves. Each Drillmach of each rank has 2 high priests, or at least the lesser servants.
And this hierarchy, is it based on blood or is it based on merit?
It's based on power. And then, of course, you have the lesser order. Your question stands. It didn't make sense. Those in the higher circles of magic rise to higher power. You have the more physical trainings, and those circles have their own hierarchies within them. You have things like the golden blades, the white lilies, the rainbow waterfalls. It's a funny name, but when it comes to elves, the weirder the nature, the stronger the blade. No offense again.
Justified.
Hey,
A weakling prince can be born from a powerful king and still hold power. That was
a weakling prince is liable to get killed by his peers, and someone else rise through the ranks. The weak don't last long. You met Porico. Pompous ass though he is. He's one of the fastest blades you'll ever meet.
Weak guys so strong can thrive. Eric's understand.
Pretty much, yeah. The Empire is quite frightful when it's at its angriest. Be happy when its eyes are not focused upon you. It's good advice for dealing with most elves here as well.
For elves, what tend to be stronger, magic or physical?
Depends on the elf. The High Drillmachs tend to be masters of both. Not always, but normally. I did a bit of talking on my way over. The current High Drillmach's been in power for almost 60 years.
Must be strong indeed.
Aye, average power lasts only 20 or so before someone takes over.
I don't know how to word this. What happens if one of non-elvish blood seeks to challenge their power?
You can't. What you need to know is there are elves, there are half-elves, there's everyone else, and then there's slaves. But the economy's strong, there's lots of might, resources, and knowledge to be found. The Empire's wide and strong. We'll do a fair bit of trading here, and do well. The city will need it.
How are half elves regarded in Elven Town?
They're a little better than slaves as far as the elves are concerned. But anywhere else, and an elf will strike you down for killing a half-elf. Their blood weighs nothing against the pure blood. But compared to those without it. He just shakes his head. And I think that's enough gossiping for the lot of you. Ovina Bloodkith, Mayor of Dwarven Quarter, at your service. A dwarven woman walks in. Large, fine white robes with silver gold filigree. A large, white curled beard spreads across her chest, lifted by an impressive dwarven bosom. Her hair seems to have once been blonde, as you can see streaks of it through her curled white hair flowing down her back. And what can I do for you in the Dwarven Quarter? You note a golden necklace with a book on the end around her neck, clearly similar to the one you saw with the tanner.
If that too gives you a headache, I do speak your native tongue.
I speak enough of the old common. I would be fine.
Glad to hear it. We come bearing a great magical item that needs to be destroyed.
Wouldn't the elf quarter be better served for you then?
Am I missing something here? I thought we came here to get, like, direct... That's the second time you say this, and it's not clicking with me. I apologize, so feel free to talk to me like I'm stupid. But were we not sent here to be guided to the right people to talk to?
You were sent here because they didn't know where else to send you, and they said a magistrate would be along.
Right, so we're waiting for the magistrate still.
Alright, so let's retcon what I just said and pull back.
Oh, no, it's fine. You don't need to retcon it.
I don't think what you did is wrong.
You're in a city you're not familiar with. You came here trying to find this, and you don't know where you're going, and you've been sent in this direction. It's perfectly plausible and reasonable thing for you to go, hey, this is what we're here for.
But all you did was...
Alright, you repeated yourself, and I felt stupid in the moment.
That was meant as a comedic throwback.
Okay. Alright, so let's push on then. Yeah, that's the second time I've heard that, but that's the reason why we're here.
Radimir speaks up. They're waiting for the magistrate. Aha! Well, that makes more sense. So, you've called a magistrate down on us then. Great bloody luck for us. She speaks over her shoulder in Machin. The butler pops his head in and she speaks rapidly to him, and he runs out. Thanks for the forewarning. We'll have to get things ready. Can't have a magistrate without proper ceremony.
If want can point us to magistrate, we seek out instead of bring to.
You don't seek out the magistrate. The magistrate comes to you and tells you what it is. You operate on his timetable, not he on yours.
Eric's not understand Elven Town.
Nobody understands elves. I don't even think the elves understand elves. No offense.
I
She nods at the door.
Seems a lot of song and dance for no payout.
Have you met an elf besides your friend here? That seems to be their way. Whether they're wild in the trees, they do the song and dance. They come to the city, they create a new song and dance.
I think back on it, realize that I don't have a good answer for that, and just nod. Because I think Dodor is the first elf I met.
I'm told elves in the south dance naked in the trees and sing by moonlight. Here, it's very similar, except they dance in their own light, cast by their own tiny dicks.
That weird way to cast light. Now see Dodor dance naked.
Well, elf, you seem alright, good sir. You wanna sing and dance in the light of your own dick?
That's one way to catch him off guard.
I start fucking laughing hysterically.
Chris is frozen.
So I'm a druid, so I feel like druids would be nudists. But at the same time, Dodor is fond of fine clothing. So... Fuck. I'm kind of in a hard place here.
Internally conflicted.
TMI, bro. TMI.
The comedian in me just wants to drop trow. The door's been more classy than that. I'm going to shake my head.
More's the pity. We could all use the joke. We'll be having a small feast for the magistrate. He's like to be around the next day or two. If we're unlucky, 3 or 4. I expect him before the end of the week, though. You have a place to put up yet?
No, not so to speak.
Well, with an elf alone, you can commandeer anywhere you'd like. But if you go over to the tavern, the Broken Hammer, just around the other side of the building here, tell them the Bloodkith sent you. They'll put you up. And none of that damned gift-giving crap everyone else is liable to do. As long as you don't mind being surrounded by only dwarves. Though I'm sure you could find lodging elsewhere in the city if you like. And I can send a runner for you whenever the magistrate do appear. Just be sure to be on the hop.
Eric's think inn do fine. Not mine, dwarf.
A place to sleep. That's all.
I'm sure I could put a bed or 3 together for you, Giant. We've had a few half-ogres through. I'm sure they can find something that would fit you.
Been a long time since I've slept well.
I mean, Raj did just cast Liam's tiny hut.
I think he refused to enter that, so his comment stands.
I thought he was in it.
He was totally in it.
Was
I
he in it?
wasn't.
I thought
He was
you
just all,
rejected it.
he fell asleep early and Dave cast it around him anyways.
Ah, okay, that was
Yeah.
it.
But it would have been a comfy sleep. In theory. Fuck knows other circumstances. Is there... Eric's interested in learning tongue, not familiar.
You're looking for a primer or a tutor?
Perhaps both?
Well, I can get you a children's book on the language. Run you a couple silver. Tutor's liable to be at least 5 silver a day, though you'll probably learn quicker.
What about multiple? Can they teach multiple and get a discount?
Yeah, want to learn your multiplications?
No, I mean
Multiple
if
people, I think.
both of us try to learn at the same time.
I doubt any tutor is willing to accept that without a premium.
It'd be more expensive than learning individually.
If you can find multiple tutors, you'll be God's blessed for sure.
Eric's probably...
At least in this quarter.
Children's books sound like good start, but tutor... more helpful.
I'll send over to the scholars and see what they've got. If you're lucky, maybe there's 2 of them. But can't imagine too many are interested in teaching Outlanders the language. I assume you'll want to be learning Machin, not Dwarven.
Yes.
Agreed.
Dwarven, I can find plenty of tutors. Machin. Well, we'll see what we can find.
In my spare time, I wouldn't mind learning Dwarven, but I don't think I'd be able to handle both. So if you can only find one tutor, I would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I know you
cock
look
my
a mite
head-
strange. You look a
Sorry.
mite strange, but you do look dwarven. You don't speak the language of your people.
He's a new dwarf.
Oh, what?
I was reincarnated as a dwarf.
Right.
He's more hatchling.
Not a hatchling.
You're a dragon and you're new in your body.
I know.
Chris,
You're a
I'm-
hatchling.
I'm gonna look out over. I'm gonna look towards Braj. It's like I've been speaking Dwarven this entire time we've been here. What use do you have of a tutor?
Yeah, he could literally tutor you in Dwarven.
You've expressed no interest of learning your mother tongue, so I have yet to offer.
I guess I hadn't really thought of it. You're always off in the trees.
We've been traveling for
3 months now, or like, no, a couple days.
no, from the beginning.
Well, yeah.
Suppose Eric's could also teach other mother tongue, since you don't know that either.
I guess the more the merrier.
You want to
I
learn
mean,
3 languages at once? It'll be fun.
I assume these tokens had value. If you wish to burn it on someone else, that's fine.
I mean, if you'd have the spare time, sure.
Meet me by the campfire. Or over a pint. I'm sure I can teach you a few words over a course of time.
I can hear this, correct?
yeah.
I speak to him in Giant, knowing that he doesn't speak it, hoping there's some sort of connection.
To me?
Yeah. Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Morris is all over it. I was slow.
If you're typing to me in Giant, I know no Giant.
I'm not typing to you.
Okay.
Oh, he's typing to me. What do you know? I thought he was typing to you too. I wasn't looking.
Dave started the night off with a glass of tequila. Said Dave started the night off with a glass of tequila. And we're like, so are we playing tonight then? He might be. He's kind of been like glossy-eyed for about an hour. Ryan has been completely out of it.
Door, give me.
Yeah. Pretty
What
much.
languages do you speak?
Yeah. It's
Common, Elvish, Dwarven, Undercommon, Druidic, Sylvan, and Gnomish.
Jesus
Give me-
fuck.
Oh
Give me-
my god.
Give me an intelligence check. You have a chance to understand something.
I was gonna say Giant uses the same alphabet as Dwarven, doesn't it?
18. Actually,
Look.
hold on. I rolled an 18. What's my intelligence modifier again? Yeah, 18.
Good fucking Christ.
I understood Dwarven. but I apologize. I haven't had much use for the large folk language. You're the first I've met. Although I tend to learn quickly from the word of mouth. I pick up on languages easily, is what I meant.
I got that.
From
You
your
looked a
list
little-
of 12 spoken languages, I figured.
7. And I think 3 of them were gifted at minimum, so... Maybe... No, 2 at minimum. I think 3.
Getting that a lot from you tonight.
I'm off by 1. Close enough.
A nod.
Right?
Well, perhaps I could visit your people one day and be immersed, and then I can learn. Mayor. I have a couple small requests, if I may.
You're an elf. Who am I to gainsay a request from an elf?
Well, I'm going to make it 3 requests then. Firstly, I ask that you speak to me as your equal.
Okay.
Secondly, I'm wondering if it's possible to have a runner go to the Elven District and, with my own coin, purchase me some fine cloth goods, ones that might impress my elven brother.
She cocks an eyebrow and waits. Go on.
And I wish to visit the library until the magistrate is ready, without anyone groveling towards me.
Well, the first and third, not a problem. The second, I can send a runner, perhaps getting the half-elven bastard I know, see if he can find an elf that's willing to speak with him, and get them to go some shopping for you. All told, a fine outfit that would impress your elven brethren could likely run you well over 200 gold. Not to mention the intermediary's cut. If you've got that, then no problem. And if you really want me to be your equal, then drop trow and show that shiny elven dick.
I start howling with laughter. Eric's
I'm
not no
really-
elves do that.
I'm going to look over. Do I have that much? Okay, I'm gonna rip my belt and drop trow.
She starts howling. Oh, first elven prick I've ever seen. It doesn't glow. And she pokes it.
Take me out to dinner first.
Say it in character.
I did.
Maybe if it glowed. You can pull him back up. I didn't actually expect you to do it. But that's one mystery solved. Elven dicks don't glow.
I turn to Pavu. Eric's not understand this time.
I thank you, though. That's a story I can tell my grandchildren.
I'm always one
Convinced
to
an elf to
oblige.
drop trow. Whew, Radimir, you brought me a real sweet one. Put together at least 250 to 300 gold, and I'll see about getting you an outfit. Head over to the tailor's, have him measure you up, tell him it's on me. That way he doesn't try to gift it to you.
Alright, I'll head out then. And you'll see to the library for me?
The library is a quarter and a half over. Through the gnomes,
You'll see it on the edge of the human quarter. No one's going to stop you from walking in. I can't stop anyone from bowing and scraping to you. That's on you.
What are the different sections of this city?
Well, each race has pretty much got its own. You have a few mixed quarters, such as the den and the pits. You have the market quarter as well. You got the elves. And then you got the royal and the palace quarters as well. All told, I'd say you probably got at least 16 to 17, though sometimes the borders shift.
The pits?
Aye, the pits. It's where your kin, the wee goblins, and the more monstrous live. Before you get too far ahead of yourself, they are literal pits. It's a great warren carved within them.
A great warren carved within them? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Eric's less interested in warren and more interested in those within. Must visit.
You're liable to get stabbed, you go there. Stabbed, mugged, killed, beaten, picked up for a slaver's market. You never know. Kobold like you, in the pits, they'd assume you're fair game.
If they thought a kobold like me in the pits is fair game, they're liable to get stabbed themselves.
Aye, that's how the pits work.
Eric's is fond of stabbing.
As are most residents of the pits.
But still may visit.
She shrugs. Again, let the inn know the bloodkith sent you. As well as the teller. Get your coin together, have him brought over, and I'll see about getting the runner. I'll have a runner sent to the inn when the magistrate's arriving. Again, be on the hop. You know, he does no wait for anyone. You operate on his time scale when he's ready. Or she, depending on who they send.
Not know who magistrate gets sent?
There are 8 magistrates within the city right now. If you're lucky, it'll be one of the men. If you're unlucky, it'll be an elven female.
Elven female worse than elven male?
Oh, aye. They've got more to prove. More sticks up their asses. There's one human male magistrate. He's the one you'd be hoping for. I wouldn't cross my fingers.
Does he also wear... I motion to the back of my head like the helms with the red coming out of them. Different cloth to signify human?
He has a red cord, but yes. It's how you know the humans that have earned some honor within the city or the empire. Though I'm told the other cities have different colors for them. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one, Dave.
Yeah,
That one came across.
proud.
Especially with your... Jesus.
You could really feel the clenched cheeks when you heard that.
And on that note, we'll end the session.
God damn.
Good lord.
Literally on that note.
Alright.
Hey.
Got some heavy RP sessions going on. It's been fun.
250 experience.
So 820.
Chris is going to be so disappointed when he comes back. He said 30 seconds 2.5 minutes ago.
I mean, yes and no.
I get. I know.
Hey,
What?
you said 250?
250.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.